check 1, 2. Tell these
Take
rappers
the
I'm
gun.
outside, get them start acting up. Turning hoes to housewives and cleaning the ratchet up. Do it off from boom back to melody rap. If they can put you in the box, then you might as well pack it up. Bars having bars, no cap, I'm Attica, you a precinct. How y'all competing when y'all just decent? Your rhyme efficiency's like logic's ethnicity. Don't tell me how much that you black, cause I don't see it. That's it. Welcome to precinct.
Fuck everybody on the block. When we get on the finals, bring that same energy, nigga.
Yeah. Live and direct on your off-season screen. It is your favorite Knicks to Ish panel. And y'all already know the vibe because I am the one and only Parlay Lord, aka Fast Taz, always here in the building to let y'all know who else is here with me. Not limited to, but including the first lady of Knicks to Ish, Mrs. Knicks is in the building. Let's not forget about our newest panel member, the one and only Knickerbocker is in the building. Shout out my guy Knickerbocker. And, you know, he got the glass in his hand, y'all. You got to show him the front of the glass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. You know what I mean? He got the glass in his hand. Chilling tonight. Our one and only host, Tea Time, is here in the building. Shout out the rest of the panel.
But I'm a spark plug.
Yeah, he definitely still
Not
is.
even my heart's work today.
Yeah, Streamer, what are you doing to us? But special shout out to my co-host Kev Rodriguez. I know you on vacation somewhere out there in Florida. I hope you're enjoying it, man. Press like for your favorite panel. Sharing as always, Kevin. If you're new here, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure your notification bell is set to all, so you know when we go live. This is basically going to be an episode talking about off-season Knicks and Ish. You know what I mean? We got a few topics we're gonna get into, so I'm gonna let our host take it away. Go on ahead, T-Time.
All right, first and foremost, shout out to my guy Nostalgic.
Yes, sir.
And as always, Darlene is in the
Darlene.
building. I mean, shout out to the sis in the building. You know what I mean? So yeah, we took a little hiatus during the finals. You know what I mean? I mostly didn't want to talk about the finals. I didn't want to talk about that shit. So I was like, this is the perfect time to go on like a little hiatus, focus on some other stuff in life, you know what I mean? But now we back to get to this off-season talks. The first item on the agenda is, the coaching search. But before we get to the coaching search, we got to talk about what led us to need to be on a coaching search. As y'all already know, and it's probably been talked to death by this point, but we haven't been here since Coach Tommy T was let go by the New York Knicks after taking the Knicks to the Eastern Conference Finals after the Knicks made the playoffs for the third straight season in a row since the 90s. Right? It's the third straight. Is it the third straight first round win? Getting out of first round? Yeah, for sure. Third straight time we got out the first round. Back-to-back 50-win seasons. Mm-hmm. And, he got canned. I, for one, would say I'm not happy about it. I thought Coach Tommy T deserved to come back next year and run it back, especially making it to the Eastern Conference Finals, being 2 wins away from, going to the finals. Especially the way that the team improved every year. I think he deserved another chance. But yet here we are, right? I think it's silly that the franchise did this without having a suitable option, at hand off rip. Especially even though we didn't have a first round pick passing the draft, that was wild. Yeah, I mean, still going into the draft without a coach, so the coach could kind of put his fingerprint on the kind of player that he would like to be drafted, because it's a project player that you usually get in the second round, right? So you would want your coach to have input on who he would like to try to develop. But that didn't happen, right? So I want, before we get into who we looking for, like the rumors and who we looking for to be a coach, I just want the panel to go around the horn, pause, and give their input on how they feel about Coach Tommy T's departure.
Ladies first.
I'm torn, right? Because I feel like he's done a great job in his tenure with us. But I definitely understand why the Knicks organization did it. Him not making adjustments in the playoffs in the last series, waiting till it was do or die to make any type of move, really did him in. And it was just the end of what we saw all season, right? Like, so many Knicks fans are like, bro, we have guys on our bench, like, play the bench. And he just refused to. He was just stuck in his ways. And I'm guessing the organization saw that he got us to the top of his mountain and he couldn't get us over the hump. And, at the end of the day, we rock with who rocks with us and who's wearing our jersey this season. And unfortunately, it ain't going to be Tibbs. And I, like you, feel like, damn, that was a crazy move without having someone in mind. I mean, at this point, it's like, shit, we just fired them and didn't have nobody. Like, the first day, all we talking about is coaches that already have a job. Like, that doesn't make any sense. But I feel like they need to hurry up and make a decision, because to me, this next coach is going to make or break us as a team. Like, our talent will only take us a certain place. Without a good coach, we're screwed. And so I think they need to come on. They need to figure it out, and they need to announce it. And I know our front office isn't one to talk, but I feel like Tibbs deserves a thank you from them out in the public. Not no, marketing letter that they put out on Twitter. Like, they need to go out and say thank you, because, I mean, this team wouldn't be this team without him.
Facts. All facts. Nick about to talk to. Oh, well, go ahead, Fraz, because I thought you usually like to go last, so that's what I was about to say. Nick,
hey, don't man, I can wait. I can wait.
No, go ahead. Go ahead,
no, I'm never mad. But yeah, I definitely got to big up Tommy T. You know what I mean? He helped pioneer the turnaround of our franchise. We can't deny the fact that, I got to quote my brother T Time on this one. You can't argue with results. You know what I mean? Like we've had winning results in the last few seasons, playoff appearances in the last few seasons, to where we've been absent for 20 odd years, but at the same time, I don't think the Knicks were prepared enough to just say, all right, let's just let him go like that sporadically. Maybe he did deserve to, be fired, but so soon without a backup plan in place, it's a little iffy now, because, candidates are slim. We will get into those in a minute. Candidates are slim, and, coaching is not something that is a premium these days like it used to be maybe 10, 15 years ago, so let's see what the adjustment is from Leon Rose here. To me, it's still up in the air. It's a 50-50 coin flip. You know what I mean? Like, at this point, like, it's really a 50-50 coin flip. So let's leave it up in the air and see what Leon Rose does.
Yeah, Nick about to talk to me.
First, I want to start off by saying thank you. If he's watching, if he's listening, I know he is because we're his favorite panel too. Coach Tom Thibodeau, thank you so very, very much for everything you've done for this organization. To take this team from 2 17-win seasons, lottery teams, horrible draft picks, a horrible culture, no direction, nothing. You took that and made this team an Eastern Conference contender. 2 consecutive 50-win seasons. Nothing but a slow, gradual progression from from not making the playoffs at all to making the playoffs, a first-round exit, a second-round exit, a conference final exit. That's something that you just don't. I know that there were a lot of people that hated Tom Thibodeau for whatever reason, whether you didn't like his demeanor, you didn't like his adjustments, you didn't like his style, you thought that you knew better, whatever the case may be. I mean, we all watch the same identical game night in and night out. We know the things that we would have done had we had the position that he had. Would we have played certain kids? Probably. Would we have made adjustments? Probably. Would we have a different offensive schematic or something? Probably. But not a single person in this chat, on this panel, anywhere on those talking heads can actually say they know what it's like to coach in New York City at Madison Square Garden for 41 of 82 games, and then, of course, all across the country. No one does. Tom Thibodeau does. You can ask Jeff Van Gundy. You can ask Pat Riley. You can ask, all the previous coaches before that. David Fisdale. I don't know why you want to. Derek Fisher, Kurt Rambis, Mike Malone, Mike D'Antoni, Mike Woodson. We can go off the whole gambit, and we can all, run up all those coaches. And Tom Thibodeau did something that none of them did except for maybe Pat Riley. They took a team that was nothing and made them something. Now, this organization and the way they're handling the situation, I'm going to quote what Nostalgic Nick put in the chat, and I hope that you guys can see it. James Dolan fired him. This is a James Dolan move. There's not a single thing that won't convince me now. After now, we're a month out. James Dolan fired Tom Thibodeau, and for whatever reason he did it. He's the owner. He can do that. But for some reason, I feel that the reason he fired Tom Thibodeau is because Tom Thibodeau is not a name. Tom Thibodeau is not likable. Tom Thibodeau is mostly, he's always got that mean bulldog scowl on his face. That, that it looks like this dude is never happy. This guy runs, according to the talking heads, runs his player to the ground, plays the starters too many minutes. Yes, he does all those things. But like T-Time just said it just a second ago, just Fraz also echoed it. Can't argue with results. And it's fucking bullshit that this organization doesn't have a plan as to who the next guy is going to be. I'm not saying you have to have him already, the side chick already ready once you divorce the wife. I'm not saying that. But every person here has an idea, more or less, of what they're going to do next. Because this is something that's been brewing for quite some time. This wasn't like out of nowhere, like a Nico Harrison woke up one morning and decided to trade Luka Doncic kind of shit. No, this is something that has been brewing. And for Leon Rose, William Wesley, Gerson Rosas, and all the Knicks from front office, for them not knowing what they were going to do next, and instead go ahead and start talking to coaches that already have contracts with other organizations and other teams? Really? The news of today, the Knicks have just checked in with Dawn Staley. Now, it's kind of crazy to me. Not to say that she's a bad coach, Yes, I said she. If you don't say go ahead, Google her up real quick and you'll know who she is. She played for Team USA. She's been, she has an exceptional college career. She had a U.S. A development league career, and I think she did play in the WNBA for a little bit. That's about it. She's been coaching in the college ranks for for the last 5-10 years or something like that. An exceptional coach. That's who you're gonna. We're on that now. This organization right now is showing that it has no control. Once James Dolan finished building the Sphere in Las Vegas,
So
Dolan would be great. I'm not saying that she wouldn't be nostalgic. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, really.
So, all right. I agree with everything everybody said for the most part, except for the fact that James Dolan fired Tom Thibodeau. I think the exit interviews fired Tom Thibodeau. Because from the reports that we got, there was a lot of people complaining about they didn't know their role on the team. And just ran out the building the way we did against the Pacers, like every other game. I think that's what did it. I don't think it was necessarily Dolan going, oh, we got to get rid of Tibbs. Because from what we know, Dolan has been hands off on the day-to-day basketball operations since Leon's taken over. So it don't make sense to me out of the blue. He's just like, I'm back, fire him. Like that kind of don't make sense to me. But I definitely think that the exit interviews was damning. And if you watch the finals, I was like, the Eastern Conference Finals, I was like, I want him to stay, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, he might be pat. He's getting kind of out coached left and right. You feel me? Because obviously everybody going into that series had us as a heavy favorite. We should have won that series if you ask me, or most Knicks fans for that matter. They'll tell you that we should have won that series, and we should have won it handedly, right? But it was lack of adjustments in them exit interviews. That's what got him out of here. You feel me? Not knowing how to use Cat to his optimal effectiveness after we traded away, Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo, and not getting and maximizing Cat. That probably got him fired. You know what I mean? Waiting until we started getting our ass kicked to play Landry Shamet. That got him fired. You feel me? Having, a multitude of people on the bench that he could have used and not used, I think that was ultimately his demise. But yeah, Knickerbocker.
I wanted to cut in a second ago. What decision has James Dolan ever done has ever made sense?
I didn't hear the last part of your question because you kind of goes up.
What has James Dolan ever done with this organization that's ever made sense? Nothing he does makes sense. This is the same guy that had Steve Mills in the front office for 20-something years. For what reason, I don't know. The same guy that had Isaiah Thomas in the front office for a long time. For what reason, we don't know. For the same reason is that, come on, don't sign Leon. Because Leon, nostalgia, Nick, I understand that what you're saying, but
I hear you, Knickerbocker. I hear you, but what I'm saying is this: he hasn't been involved. That's the point I'm trying to make. You know what I mean? Yes, he's made boneheaded decisions, but he also, to nostalgic Nick point, signed Leon Rose, and he's been out of the way. This is why we've been able to make these progressions that we have over the last few years. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't make sense for him all of a sudden now when things are moving in the right direction to F it up. You feel me? Like, I think it's so many other things that you could point to that was his demise, other than James Dolan being the guillotine, you know what I mean, if you will, on Coach Tommy T's New York Knicks coaching career. You know what I mean? I just think that Leon Rose, despite of their relationship, felt like it was probably time to move on. You know what I mean? I disagree. I really do disagree. But I'm not willing to put that one on James Dolan because I've been happy with the fact he's been staying away from the team and not making the bullheaded decision. And all we could do is go about like the reports that we hear. You know what I mean? And all the reports that we hear lead to the fact that it was the exit interview of multiple players that got Coach Tommy T packed. Obviously not the Villanova guys, because you know how they feel about Coach Tommy T. But it was other players, maybe Cat,
Maybe
maybe
McCall.
maybe the $60 million man got Coach Tommy T out of here. You feel me? Because next
Or
year,
just even sitting back and looking at the game. Because when you think about it, there were games this season where JB was and wasn't involved in the games, where other guys were used the way they were supposed to be used, right? Like McCall, like Cat. And then it's just like when Brunson's in the game, everything is just Brunson. And we're not going to win like that. Realistically, you could love Brunson as much as you want. Brunson wasn't going to beat the Pacers by his own damn self. It wasn't going to happen. And no one really, you have to play a full team. And when you look at the team that our front office put together, bro, a lot of these guys are unstoppable when they play their role. Who was going to stop Cat for real on the Pacers? No one, if he played in the paint. Who stops McCall mid-range? No one. And that opens up everything else. And so, yes, I think Dolan had a part in it, not the final word, because reports were that Dolan Ben gave the go-ahead to let him go. Leon held on to him, but you can only hold on to someone for so long before you go under with them, right? So now I gave you the perfect team to win a chip, especially in a hurt East, right? A team like the Pacers, I agree with you. No doubt in my head, till today, were we the better team. Just weren't used correctly. They outran us. They played their pace. You know, you're a defensive coach and you couldn't stop them. You let other guys than their main guys go off. Like, shit like that can't happen. And ultimately, that was it. I mean, it is what it is at this point. You can't cry over spilled milk. He ain't our coach no more. Hopefully they make the right choice for the next one.
well,
You just do a circle for us.
Adjusting the tripod real quick.
Yeah, you know, it is unfortunate. You know, thank you, thank you, Coach Tommy T. But yeah, it's unfortunate. Now, let's talk about the situation we are in. You know, being coachless. You know, Knickerbocker Ave alluded to, you know, Dawn Staley getting hit up today to see if she interested or being interviewed out of whatever. Listen, here's my thing, right? I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't. You know what I mean? Because I do think the NBA is stuck in a cycle of recycling the same old coaches over and over and over, right? I definitely think that it's definitely time to get some new coaching blood in. I thought it would be Becky Hammond, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, I mean, I would like that.
You don't want to coach a non-A1 player? What you mean?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I forgot that was her with that nasty ass line.
Mm-hmm.
I retract that statement. My bad, y'all. Yeah. She violated the cap. She's no good in New York for sure. So yeah, I wouldn't mind Dawn Staley. You feel me? I wouldn't mind a new coach, a new coach, period. Like a first timer. I wouldn't. And I thought. So I thought when we fired Coach Tommy T as quick as we did, and then I heard the reports that the Phoenix Suns was interested in Johnny Bryant. I thought, okay, maybe we going after Johnny Bryant. You know what I mean? Maybe we fire Tibbs to go get Johnny Bryant. Yet, Have we even called him to interview him?
I don't
Like,
think
yo, like
so.
so like now I'm confused. I got people asking me when they see me around and about, T, what you think we gonna do with the coaching situation? And my honest to God answer is I don't know, good brother. Your guess is just as good as mine because I'm confused. I'm confused and I'm conflicted. Uh, who we interviewed? We interviewed the guy from the Hornets.
We interviewed Jenkins, former
Jenkins,
Memphis coach.
Mike Brown,
Mm-hmm.
Um,
the
Mike,
guy from the assistant coach for the Timberwolves.
Mike and Nori.
Mm-hmm.
I think or they already have James Borrego, um, assistant coach for the Pelicans, and that's about it.
I don't want nothing to do with a losing ass team. I'm good on
Yeah.
that.
Because we already had the night from the Mavericks, the Bulls.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have everybody.
Listen, it is a nasty situation. Yeah, I mean, it's a nasty situation, and this is, to me, in my mind, the second real miscue since Leon's been the president of basketball operation. Like the first one was the Kemba Evan joint, and this one being uh firing Tibbs without a suitable replacement in hand. Uh, and I don't want to hold this too much against him because the good definitely outweighs the bad. I mean, we still in a very good and advantageous situation. We still have a very talented roster. Still have one of the best starting fives in the whole entire league. Frankie Fingers was good, my boy. Yeah, still got one of the best starting fives in the whole entire league. Uh, and I don't want to hold this too much against him, but something has to be done. I don't like nobody I just named on that list, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, I mean that out of none of them moved the needle for me. You feel me? I, I don't, and the sad part is I don't really have anybody in mind really to be like, yeah, I want this person. You feel me? This person needs to be the coach of the New York Knicks because it's a uniquely built team, right? It is a very uniquely built team. Like when it comes to you have a score first guard, you got a big man who's not really, you know, a low post scorer. He wants to shoot more threes than anything. And you got two dominant wing defenders in Macau and OG. But then, you know, if you start Mitch, then you got three good defenders and two scorers, right? Uh, I don't know who I want to coach that. You feel me? Like I don't know how that looks in somebody else's hands, pause, right?
Well, 2.5 scorers, right?
Yeah.
Because McCall and OG, they go, one day is one of them, one day is the other.
What I'm saying, what I'm saying is with scorers. When I say scorers, I mean somebody who go get their own bucket.
Yeah.
I don't think Macau or OG is proficient at getting their own buckets.
Yeah, for sure.
They need a prototypical point guard to get them buckets. You mean? And this is something I want to speak about later with one of the other topics when we go into free agency and all that other stuff. But that is a uniquely built team, and I think this team was built leaning towards Coach Tommy T's style of coaching. Very top heavy with the starting five. Yeah, I mean, a little left to the imagination when it comes to the bench. So I don't know who I'm comfortable with. Be like, yeah, that's the guy. Yeah, I mean, it's only one name that come to mind, but we all know that's not going to happen. That's a pipe dream. You feel me? Like, there's one name, and I know when y'all said that, y'all all know who I'm talking about. So I'm not even going to say it because it's not even worth mentioning his name because we know it's not going to happen.
He's already in the chat.
Hey, God's number.
He's already in the
chat. But yeah, you know, so other than that, it's like, I don't know. You know, even though he's a quitter, yeah, I mean, but even though he's a quitter and he quit on us once, looking at the landscape of this team, I wouldn't be mad at a Jeff Van Gundy. I wouldn't be mad at that. Because it's the same defensive principles as Coach Tommy T, but he plays his bench. It's the same thing. Like, it's the same defensive principle. He has a little bit more imagination. No, he don't, because he was giving Pat the ball and everybody was getting out the way. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to land the plane there because I'm confused. That's just what I'm saying. I don't know where I want to go with this coaching situation. And I wish I had answers. I don't
it's
have
tough because, like, all the assistant coaches that the Knicks have interviewed, like, we don't really know shit about them, right? They're assistants. We know as much about them as we know about Rick Brunson. Like, we don't know much about none of them. Or, like, what their style would be as a head coach. So it's tough. It's also tough, and I agree with you. I think there should be fresh blood in coaching, but these are high standards that a rookie coach is gonna have to live on. Like, it's finals or bust, to be honest. For a rookie coach, that's a lot of pressure.
The thing I would say is that out of all the assistants that were mentioned, Micah Nori makes a little bit more sense for me because he has some level of success in getting the best out of Karl Anthony Towns. And since if you want to, in any which way that you think that, maybe Karl Anthony Towns had something to do with getting Tom Thibodeau fired for the second time now, the team, because he got him fired in Minnesota, Micah Nori did maximize Towns and got the Minnesota Timberwolves all the way to the Western Conference Finals, a year ago. So he does sound interesting. And some of the clips when he was the acting head coach while I believe it was Chris Finch was down with an injury. I think that that he would fit well in New York. He's a perfect personality. He's kind of like a Rex Ryan kind of guy where he does preach defense, but he does like to talk a lot, and he's kind of entertaining. So maybe the media will love him. But the reality is that none of these assistant coaches, as much as the talking heads on all the networks and every podcast that we probably all listen to in some way, shape, or form, they're all going to say, "Well, he's a good assistant coach." How the fuck do you know? Are you in those audience? Do you know what exactly he's contributing to the success of that team? I know people want to keep on saying Sam Cassell because he was doing such a great job in Boston. How do you know what exactly he's responsible for? Is he coming up with the defensive schematics? Is he coming up with the offensive plays? Is he coming up with, it's like, what exactly is there as assistants? That's why I have a problem with assistants. But according to sources, Micah Nori got to maximize the most out of Karl Anthony Towns, and he has a relationship with him from previous. So maybe that would be the best bet. But so far, I'm hearing no.
For the people in the chat, put who y'all think should be our next coach in the chat.
The big fact.
And while y'all doing that, let me give you my take real quick on it. From what I've been hearing, the ex-Memphis coach Jenkins is the front runner for the job. Just per reports. I'm not saying this is confirmed, not saying it's true. It's just some of the things I've been hearing out there that, my ears have been hearing in the street. Do I think he's a good fit? Kind of do, kind of don't. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you kind of see what he did with a team like Memphis, but you didn't see him really maximize the potential of that Memphis team to an extent. So I'm not really sold on Jenkins, per se. I'm just going to say it like this. Deion Rose, you're going to have to figure this one out, my guy.
Don't fuck this up.
You're gonna have to sit back for a little minute, and you're gonna have to wait, and you're gonna have to make the best possible choice. Because man, Slim Pickens right now ain't looking too good for Pickens.
And I think that's why he's taking his time, to be honest, because I think the wrong decision is his job.
Yeah.
He makes the wrong decision, it's his job.
Mm-hmm.
So I do agree that if he make the wrong decision, it's his job. But I also think he's a smart man. Like I also think he's a smart man, and I think he understands this. And I think one thing I also know about him in his tenure as the Knicks, president of basketball operation, he doesn't succumb to media pressure. Yeah, I mean, like he doesn't let the media dictate his actions. Yeah, I mean, because if that's the case, we would have sold the farm for the Donovan Mitchell and Beverly other moves that the media was crying for that he decided against. You feel me? So I think he's going to take his time. Hopefully, he make the right decision. Now more that I think about it, and I saw it yesterday. I really didn't give it too much thought because I was super busy. But now that I think about it more and more, I'm really liking that Don Staley interview, like her being interviewed. That really got my ears perked up. I mean, because I did peek in on a few Carolina games, and granted, all being that they're college women, I like some of the things they do on offense. I think that's cool. I like the way they play defense. They play a very stingy defensive game. Does this translate to NBA men? I don't know. But I'm just saying it's interesting. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? All right, so I guess we could move right along. Y'all gonna have to carry this topic because I didn't watch the draft. I don't know who this kid is. So the NBA draft was a few days ago. We didn't have a first round pick. So no first round pick for the Knicks. But with that being said, I will take this time to make fun of people. Because from what I'm hearing.
Don't take what I was going to say.
Oh, I'm going to leave
no,
it to
go
you,
ahead.
Chris.
Because I know where you're going. I'm
going to leave it to you, Chris.
Fuck every one of them 5 picks, Brooklyn.
Because from what I heard, y'all ate SHIT to bed. You feel me? Like that's what I heard.
Let's holler at Bubba Dub real quick. Trash.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's what I heard. You know what I mean? So, F them picks. Shout out to my boy Macau. You know what I mean? Shout out to my boy Macau and F them picks. But yeah, second round, we end up picking what's the kid name from Frank?
Muhammad Dawara.
Yeah, Muhammad Dawara. I heard he's tall. I heard he got a little handle. He could shoot a little bit. I didn't get a chance to watch his highlights, so I'm gonna let the panel, give their takes on how we did in the draft.
So I don't know shit about him. I don't know nothing about him. I know the Knicks are in love with French players, clearly, because we got another one. I saw some videos on him. His game looks a lot like OG with a little bit of more handle offensively. But from everything I've read, he's probably going into the G League this year. He needs a lot of work. So we'll see. I mean, I would say this. It's okay to not know because our G League affiliate and our staff, to be honest, have grown young players that have talent, right? Like we've seen it with IQ, we've seen it with Grimes, I guess, OB, RJ, Deuce. So I mean, I'm cool with the team we have on our roster right now. You know what I'm saying? So having them draft and sit back and develop, I'm cool with it. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. They say he's playing in the summer league, so we'll see.
Yeah, that's something I'm definitely interested to see is the summer league for sure. Knickerbocker Fries.
I mean, I've heard his game is decent. To be honest with you, like I said, I haven't seen really too much of this kid other than a few videos that I've been shown. But from those videos I take, he has a decent game. Got a decent mid range. Got decent handle. Got a decent jump shot. He needs some work. That's what it is. He definitely needs some work. But if you can refine him, I think he can be a pretty useful tool if you refine him enough. You know, like player development needs to work for this kid, man, because he can be something.
What I know about Mohamed Diarra is he's 6'8", 6'9", depending on who you ask. He's got about a 7'2" wingspan. He's a pretty good defender in the French league, but offensively, he needs a lot of work on all three levels. He's got an okay mid range, but he's a horrible foul shooter. Hasn't really developed a 3-point game, and that's pretty much about it. I think the summer league and the G League is pretty much his short-term destiny at this point. But I mean, he could be like your Precious Achua substitute if he walks, which more than likely he is. And we shall see. I do know that the Knicks also signed what is his name? Dinky or Dink Pate, 19-year-old kid out of Dallas, Texas, also 6'8". He plays the wing. He should be another guy that that will probably make the G League on a 2-way deal, and we shall see. Both those guys. I mean, I hear more stuff about Dink Pate or Dink Pate. I don't even know how you pronounce his name.
Dink Pate.
Dink Pate. I thought Pate because we're talking about French players, but so
yeah, he from the D. He from Dallas.
Yeah, so yeah, he played in the G League Ignite, and he had a pretty good showing there. But he wasn't drafted, and
he played in Mexico City team.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I look at both of those guys is that if you sign them and stash them, or you just send them to the G League and let them get their game grow, they'll be good maybe in a couple of years depending on circumstances. But like the panels already said, our G League development team is pretty good. We have developed guys. I mean, look what they did for Deuce. Look what they did for guys like Langston Galloway in the past. Guys, they'll develop. But I just don't. I didn't see the point. So at this point, fuck all 5 of those picks that freaking Brooklyn took, and I'm not gonna say fuck our picks because they're ours. But if we didn't get them, I wasn't gonna lose sleep over them.
Yeah. So, quick question. The kid from France, because I'm not about to butcher his name.
Mohammed?
Yeah, Mohammed, for sure. What number pick was he? He was like 50 what?
51.
51?
So, yeah.
So the Knicks had the 50th pick. They picked someone, traded that person to the Clippers for the Clippers' 51st pick, and that's who we drafted.
We also got cash considerations in that deal as well.
Yeah, it was like someone else, right?
So,
yeah.
So that's project pick. You feel me? Like, it's nothing to really be expected from that pick. You hope something great turns out from it, but I'll say this from Leon Rose's, and the staff's track record in picking in the second round, we've been doing pretty good, if you ask me. Yeah, I mean, they've been finding some talent in the second round. We're talking about Deuce. We're talking about Tyler Kolek. We're talking about Hug Purdy. We're talking about Mitchell Robinson. No, well, that's before this regime, but still. Yeah, I mean, like, Mitch came out of the second round. I might be missing somebody else, but yeah.
Quentin Grimes.
I wasn't sure. I was like, was he a first round?
Jericho Sims too.
Jericho Sims. Yeah, they've done a great job picking in the second round, and I think you got to wait and see. Like I said, he's young. He's gonna play in the summer league. He's gonna be in the G League, getting time to prove himself. So we just got to wait and see. But yeah,
I
I'm
will
just
say
really
this, from the videos I've seen of the kid from Dallas, I want to see him run with our second unit. I want to see him. When I watch videos of him, you know, I live in Dallas, so I get to see like all kind of stuff. He gives me a tell me you miss Obi without telling me you miss Obi plus some.
yeah.
Like his flashiness to the basket, the way he just cuts on loose balls and stuff, his dunking ability. He got a little weird shot, but he can shoot a little bit. And I mean, I don't know. He seems super happy to be a Knick. And that's always good.
Sure.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. There are going to be projects, but at the end of the day, like I said, I'm good with the team we have. I'm good with the team we have. We can run it back as is. I'm good.
Sure.
I'm good. But let me say this. You know who's the most famous 51st pick in NBA history?
Who?
Steve Nash.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't know he was drafted that late.
That late, right? That's crazy.
But, you know, you saying you found what running it back is kind of a good segue into the next topic, which is free agency. You know, as it stands, the Knicks is kind of handcuffed financially as to what they could do, right? In this offseason, probably some mid-level veteran, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? You can't really do much. You know what I mean? You
Might
can't
not
really
even
do
be
much.
those.
Huh?
Might not even be those where we sitting
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, so, but you know, some kind of money frees up with, you know, Precious becomes
Precious
a free
off,
agent.
Ariel, I think, becomes a free agent. Like, it's a little bit of money.
Yeah, it's some money coming off the book, so it's a little wiggle room. Not a lot, but it's a little wiggle room. I'm gonna let the panel start with who they might want to see get picked up in free agency, and I'll give my little 2 cents at the end. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, tell me who y'all would like to see the Knicks go after in free agency, and you know, in the panel, I mean, in the comments, let us know who you would like to see the Knicks go after in free agency. Panel.
I'm good with running it back, to be honest. I'm good with running it back because, I mean, there's a little bit of money that comes off. Not a lot. It would have to be, to me, it's going to end up, if we sign anyone in free agency, it's going to be a vet that just wants to win a chip. It's going to be a vet that wants to win a chip. I think we're good enough to win as is if used properly. As we've seen last season, we have the best starting lineup in the league. Our starting lineup is dropping 100 easily. And our bench can give us points if used correctly. I think the only monies we lose off our books this year is going to be Precious. I think it's like $6 million. Ariel it becomes a free agent, is like almost $2 million. Shamit. But I feel like I think we're going to re-sign Shamit.
We should.
Absolutely.
But who knows, right? Who knows for sure? But yeah. Fraz Knickerbocker.
I don't really have an idea as to who I would like to be brought in. Just for the very reason is that we are handcuffed. I think we're $4 million over the first apron and $8 million under the second. We only have the taxpayer mid-level exception, which is not a lot of money, which is about $5.6 million, something like that. And you still have to figure out what we're going to do at the bench. I'm with Mrs. Knicks on running it back, but we do need to shore up that bench. And we lack some shooting. We lack some size. And I would desperately do not want to see the trio of Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, and Josh Hart playing 35, 40 minutes every night. I think that would just tax the crap out of our bench, and especially when we had so many guys that were able to put the ball in the hoop and make some suitable defensive plays. That was like the biggest knock on Tommy T in terms of his trusting his bench, and we had the talent. Now we have to play. We have to get creative, and we have to find suitable pieces that will be able to, one, take close to, if not the minimum, and two, guys who are ready to move to that role. So I think that as much as a lot of people in the chat are right now saying they love the front office, well, that love is going to get tested because you're going to be hearing free agency starts in 2 days, and we're going to be hearing a lot of names and a lot of things, a lot of clicks, Knicks for clicks rumors. So we will soon shall see.
Fraz?
Okay. Honestly, can't even really put money to a name right now. We ain't got it like that. You know what I mean? Like, let's call it what it is right now, man. Like, we can't even put money to a name right now. If you want me to be honest with you, and I'm not even saying it to be funny. I'm not even saying it to be on no comedy type John. I'm saying it because that's what it really is right now. Like, things have to develop. Pieces got to be moved around to where it has to play out a little further for the Knicks to even say, boom, this is what we can do to go after somebody. You know what I mean? So honestly, right now, y'all, I don't even got a name right now. I'm gonna say this: the Knicks need to get under that first apron. Once you get under that first apron, I think we'll be all right. Then you might see a couple vet minimums and a little more flexibility with that.
Oh.
But
all right, my fault, Fraz. All right, I was my bad.
Yeah, I was trying to, but you know what I'm saying? Like where we at right now, pushing that second apron, there's minimal wiggle room. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta wait until free agency starts for the couple of players that come off to come off, and then even in that, that's not even 10 million coming off. So yeah, something else gotta happen to where it can be a deal. A deal could be made to kind of keep us under that apron. Like one of the suitable people that I saw that the Knicks could go after if they move a couple pieces around is Nas Reed. I think you need somebody like that.
He's already agreeing with. He's already.
He's already agreeing. Oh, okay. I didn't see that. That's why I was saying. I don't know. All right, so then.
So boom.
Like I said, you see what I'm saying? Can't put a name to it.
boom. I got a hear me out moment.
So before you go, let me just say, Kevin Porter Jr. has declined his player option with Milwaukee, so he is now an unrestricted free agent. Just another name to throw in there. Not saying anything.
Yeah, now keep that guy away from my team.
The same for Nicholas Batum. He declined his option.
Keep him away from my team too. He's a bum for sure. Go get me Bo. Go get me Bo.
Oh my God.
Go get me Bo, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Tea time.
You talk
Are you
and
Frank right there? Because bro, Frank
Frank's in the same thing.
I think he's at work, so he's probably not in the chat. But bro, he lives on go get Bo.
Go get me Bo. Listen, Bo made $2 million last year. He's very affordable. And you got to think about it. With Cat being the player he is, always in foul trouble, there's another big guy that comes off the bench and give you a bucket. For whatever reason, I don't know why he don't get major playing time everywhere else. Because it's not because of productivity. Because when he gets the minutes, he produces every single time, right? And then we talk about, we're undersized. The guy is 7'3", 7'4". I don't know how.
He's a giant.
Yeah. He could shoot the ball. He could put the ball on the ground. You know, he could shoot the ball. He could put it on the ground. He's a bucket for sure. Go get me ball. You know what I mean? Like
he's 7'3".
He's 7'3". Got a little bit of handle. Could shoot the rock. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't call him a rim protector, but he's a shot blocker. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call him a rim protector by any stretch of the imagination, but he's a shot blocker for sure. I don't know why he can't stay on the court in his destination, but I know that when he is on the court, that boy produces every single time. Another hear me out moment. Go give me the Boucher kid from Toronto. He's not as good as Bol, but he's tough. He could shoot a little bit. He could rebound the basketball. He got a little bit of handle to him too. You know what I mean? He's another like 6'10" guy. Like, hey, go give me that guy. He ain't making no money. Ain't nobody paying him over $4 million. He was barely getting burned like that in Toronto. But when he did, he produced. You feel me? So those two guys are my hear me out moments. Go give me those guys. It's not going to cost as much. I'm very comfortable with a backup guard combination of Deuce and Tyler. And even though they undersized, we still have OG and McCall. And if you're playing against a backcourt who has some size, you could mix and match them playing alongside OG or McCall to give you the size you need to defend in the backcourt, right? And you can always hide Tyler on whoever's the worst offensive player on the next team coming off the bench. But then you have Tyler to set up people like Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby, who's not necessarily good at creating their own shots. You need a facilitator, somebody like Tyler, to get more minutes, playing with OG and McCall, to get these guys the easy buckets that we know they could get on a night-to-night basis when they're playing with a pass-first point guard. But yeah, Bol and the Bichette kid, bring back Shannon. And to me, that is a suitable bench if played by the head coach. Bol coming off the bench after Cat. Somebody can still stretch the floor and still give you a bucket at the 4 or 5 position at 7'3". That's tough, especially with the kind of foul trouble Cat always stay in. It's not so much. Yeah, Frank is in the building. That's a fact, Frank. Bol.
I told you he was coming.
No, we have these conversations in the house, and for months, even when the Knicks were still playing, he say Bol.
Because I'm just saying, when Cat goes to the bench foul trouble, which is inevitable, you can't teach defensive instincts, right? That's just something that's unteachable. What it would be like to be like Bol, all right, we're not missing nothing offensively now. I won't say nothing. We're not missing much offensively because I still think Cat is a better offensive player than Bol. But we're not missing that much. It's not that big of a drop-off as it was like when Cat go to the bench, you're like, man, now who the hell is going to score with JB now? You feel me? Like, you go get me that guy. It ain't going to cost much. It'd be beautiful. I'm telling you. Listen, guys, I'm telling you, Bol. I hear Al Horford. Al Horford ain't leaving the Celtics, and if he do, he's probably going to retire, to be perfectly honest. If Al Horford can't stay in Boston, he's probably going to pack it up. But yeah, Bol. Other than that, I ain't got no other names. Because I don't really care for nobody else.
I see Kobe White mentioned a lot in the chat. The only thing
Kobe White gonna cost.
He's going to cost you something. He signed a 3-year, $36 million deal a couple years ago. I don't see him taking less, especially when there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be wanting to give him a little bit more than that. So I know that a lot of people say, well, you can just sell him on wanting to win the championship. With the Eastern Conference being the way it is right now, with Boston being down, Indiana being down, Milwaukee being down, and also in a lot of like turmoil because they don't know what's going to happen with Giannis. There's no definitive saying that the Knicks are a complete shoo-in. I mean, hell, most rankings have us second in the East behind the Cavs, even though we made it past further than the Cavs, but it is what it is. I don't, and I mean, with Giannis's possible move, possible not move, nonsense. I don't see how the Knicks can be the automatic number one favorite, and for you to try to sell that to a Kobe White, say, hey, I know you made $12 million.
I'll tell you how we can say we're favorites.
Well, I understand that, but how you?
Everyone's hurt. Boston's hurt. The Pacers are hurt.
But how you
the
gonna?
Cavs are a regular season team.
How are you going to sell that to a free agent who's looking for a payday?
You don't sell that part. What you're gonna sell is, bro, it's New York and there's money to be made outside of basketball. And me as an agent, as your front office, is gonna make sure you're paid.
Yeah.
Think about it. They did it with Jalen Brunson. He took the cut, but you think his pockets is short? Bro, this man has so many endorsements, it's outrageous.
Yeah. But
Tyler Kolek has endorsements. The boy hasn't even seen more than 10 minutes a game. He got endorsements.
So here's the thing, right? With Kobe White's situation, it's not like we the only thing and the only choice he's gonna have, right? Out west, there's plenty of teams that will take him that has a shot at contender, right? Like, and have the money to more money to pay him. Like, so there's that. Right, like you could try to sell him on the law of New York and be like, all right, we got a real good chance of making the finals. But he could also look at like, all right, there's teams out west where they got some bread and they also got a chance at making the finals. And I think out west they play more of a style, his style of game. Like Kobe White is a fast-paced game player. You know what I mean? And that definitely leans to more West Coast teams than it does to on the East. So what next year, Kyrie? I don't know, man. Kyrie getting old and Achilles. No, he had Achilles. No, he had an ACL.
He loves Kyrie, bro.
And didn't he just sign a deal just recently?
No, he
opted 3 years.
He opted out.
He didn't sign that 3 year, 100 and something.
Out.
Yeah, but
he opted out, but he signed a new one.
Yes, he did. He signed. He re-signed. He opted out of his old one and signed the 3 year, 100 and something million.
I didn't see that
120. Part. Yeah, it's like almost 120 million.
Interesting.
Yeah. But either way, yeah. I mean, y'all know who I said already. I'm very comfortable with Deuce in.
Put it in the chat, Frank.
I'm very comfortable with Deuce and Tyler getting some run as the backup 1 and 2. A mixture of Hart and you know whatchamacallit and Shamit, like that whole conglomerate of I'm cool with that for sure. But go get me Bobo for sure. Go get me Bobo. I'm telling you, bro. Y'all will be so happy when Cat go to bench and you start seeing Bobo come out like, I pass me the rock. Watch this. Flap. Watch this. Excuse me. Right to the cup. Watch. Watch. I'm trying to tell you. I watched Bobo play a few games and I'm like, yo, it's crazy that this kid is not getting more PT for sure. But yeah, man, the free agency is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. So we can kind of segue into the last topic, which is rumors. You know, the offseason is always filled with rumors, especially when it's the New York Knicks, right? Where somebody just said something ridiculous in there. Bobo over Cat, bro. What kind of drugs you on, man? But anyway,
who said we was putting Bobo over Cat? Come on, man.
Yeah, nah.
David,
I What I said is,
he's
I
joking.
think he might have misconstrued what I said. I said when Cat gets in foul trouble, inevitably as he does, and then Bobo coming off the bench, that's gonna be fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But anyway, like I was saying, the offseason always filled with rumors, especially when you're a Knicks fan. I saw something that kind of piqued my interest. I know it's not going to happen, or I hope it don't happen, but it would be interesting. The only reason I say I hope it don't happen because the guy's injury prone. There's some things I've been hearing about Lonzo Ball. I think that would be fire coming off the bench.
Who?
For sure.
He just got traded though.
Huh?
He just got traded.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he did. Where did
Wait, who did you say?
Lonzo.
Ball?
He got traded.
To where?
To the Cavs.
Yeah, he went to Cleveland.
That's tough.
For Okoro?
Isaac Okoro.
Isaac Okoro.
That's tough. That's tough. That's a good pickup for him, for sure. If he can stay healthy, it's a good pickup for sure. Like, that's the kind of facilitator you need coming off your bench, for sure. But yeah, other than that, tell me what rumors y'all heard that got y'all interest peaked or outrageous.
None have got my interest peaked.
I'm just tired of seeing content creator after content creator continuously reposting the Giannis talk. Like, Giannis hasn't even, he's a fucking buck as we speak. Let him stay there for now. And plus, in order to get him, it would take way too much. I mean, you're talking about, you can forget about running it back because that's 4 out of your 5 starters.
Well, they would say you're going to do a cap for Giannis because their money almost matches up.
But why would Milwaukee
I don't want it. I'm just saying that's what they're saying.
Yeah,
I think he changes the dynamic of the team again, and I don't want to change the dynamics of the team again.
They ran that trade in the trade machine, and that trade is a 1-for-1. That's a green trade 1-for-1.
Mm-hmm.
Because their salaries are damn near identical. It's in the
keep Giannis away from my team, man.
Can I talk about?
Is because one, nobody could deny Giannis is a phenomenal talent, but his talent predicates on his athleticism, purely on that. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to use the term "there's no skill to his game" because that's false. I think what he does is a skill, but there was no expansion to his game. Like, there was no development of a mid-range or a long or 3-point shot. The things that great players do or develop to extend their career. Right? Giannis is 30 now. We've seen the last 3 years he's been getting more and more injured every year. Mm-hmm. And what happens when the athleticism goes? What happens? There's no jump shot to lean on. There is no jump shot to lean on, and I guarantee you if he ain't develop it now, it's never going to happen. Because even with LeBron, he's still not the greatest jump shooter, but that turnaround fadeaway he got, that shit money. He can hit a mid-range shot, shit money. He can even get on fire from 3-point range from time to time, even though he's not the greatest 3-point shooter. I'm just saying, Giannis ain't never developed that. And for all those people that say, you'll trade them, trade Cat for him, y'all tripping. Him and Cat are the same age. Cat just played the most games that he's played in his career in a long time. He could shoot the ball. He could drive from the 3-point line. He got touch around the rim, going over both shoulders. He's a defensive liability, but the boy's a bucket. You know what I mean? And his game is going to translate over the age of his career. Unlike Giannis. Giannis' decline is going to be faster than Cat's. because of the style of play. So yeah, keep Giannis away from my team, man, for sure. Anything else?
Um, yes, there is one thing I want to bring up that some Knicks fans forget. Yeah, I do realize there are two people that are eligible to sign extensions come July. Those two players being Mikal Bridges and Mitchell Robinson. I'm not aware of any others per se, but I know those two definitely because I know Mikal Bridges is due this year and Mitchell Robinson is definitely due this year for an extension. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Knicks move forward, exploring that situation, navigating how they're going to re-sign Mitch and Mikal Bridges because recently I've been hearing trade talks about them in the news. Not saying anything is true, but this is just bringing some of the
Who?
rumors to light. Mikal and Mitch.
Oh, Mitch is in trade talks every year.
Yeah,
Since he was a rookie.
that's why I'm. Why you think I don't? Why you think I don't hype these trade talks up? It's just like, yeah, we hear it all the time. Same thing. We wait till we see what happens.
Yeah. I think I would be kind of, even though it's F those picks, I would be upset if we traded Macau so soon after giving them 5 picks. Because even though the Nets pooped the bed, I still feel like if we had those 5 picks, we would have did a way better job with those 5 picks. So to
Yeah.
trade them away, you trade the guy you trade all those picks for away the very next year, to me, is kind of idiotic. And he's a phenomenal player. Defensively, he was great this year when he was allowed to defend. You know what I mean? Part of the reason why I think we struggled in these playoffs defensively because we didn't allow our great defenders to be great defenders. We were switching everything. Game was it game 5 when Tyrese Halliburton had a horrible game? That was the game Mikal Bridges refused to be screened. Nope, I'm guarding Tyrese Halliburton all game. I refuse to be screened, and it worked, right? Then the
Hmm.
very next game we go back to switching everything. Didn't make sense. We got Mikal is a great defender. He's a eight. Didn't he not average 18 points a game this season? As the fourth, he's like the fourth
Fourth
option
or
on
fifth
offense.
option. Yep.
He's like the fourth. Josh Hart was the fifth for sure.
Oh
But
yeah.
he was the fourth option on offense, averaging 18 points a game. Still shooting like mid 30% from 3-point line. Even though, and that was a struggle year for him from the 3-point line.
And let's not forget the defensive plays against Boston.
If you
Hmm.
look at the numbers, when he's the primary defender on all the major guys in the playoff, those guys struggled when Mikal was guarding. If you look at the defensive numbers, Mikal was great defensively when he was allowed to check who he was supposed to be checking and not having to switch automatically, which is dumb. Because that's how you get Jalen Brunson in all these mismatches all postseason. But yeah, you don't trade Mikal. I know he's in rumors, but you don't do it. That's not smart. That would not be smart of the front office. You keep Wingstop together and get a coach that will
Who could
allow
use them
them,
all?
huh?
A coach that can use them all.
Yeah, and allow them to be defending man instead of switching everything. JJ in the building was good, my guys.
The Knicks fan just entered the chat.
For sure. Yeah. I know there's rumors. There's always gonna be rumors. It was somebody else too that there was rumors about. I can't remember.
Here's a rumor that I keep on hearing: the possibility of the Knicks acquiring Al Horford to be
For
a backup
what?
center.
For what?
Well, he's a free agent, so
But what do we need him for? Is what I'm asking.
you can use him as a backup center if you don't retain Ariel Hukporty. You have somebody that's familiar with Karl Anthony Towns because they did play on Team Dominican Republic. They're very close. He could be somebody. He can kind of act like the Bill Cartwright to your Patrick Ewing, back in '85 kind of deal, where he's a mentor. He's just a veteran on the bench, and somebody who's been to the dance and won a title. Maybe that veteran presence. Maybe you get him on the low if he's willing to take it. And
is he worth $10 million?
Like I said, if you bring him on the low, I mean, this has to be his final season. So, is he really looking for $10 million? I mean, unless I don't see any other team willing to give it to him either. I don't see Boston bringing him back. I don't, because they're all about shedding salary. I mean, look at all the trades they already made. So if he's willing to take a minimum or even the mid-level exception, is it something that you can actually make work?
So this is how I feel about Al Horford, right? I wouldn't be mad if he was a Knick for sure. I mean, wouldn't be mad at that at all. Do I see him leaving Boston? I think if he's going to take the vet minimum anywhere, it's probably going to be to stay in Boston and finish career there because he won a championship there, right? And like y'all all said, I don't see anybody else giving him $10 million because he's not who he once was. He's very serviceable, but I don't feel like coming off the bench, I don't feel like I could play you almost 20 minutes every night. I'm not giving you $20 million because I don't feel like you got 20 minutes every night in you. You feel me? Pause. But he like 40. he like 40. You know what I mean? Like, he's serviceable, but I wouldn't be mad if he was here, but I just don't see him leaving Boston.
He's 39. Yep, you're right.
And if he does leave Boston, I think he's going to retire. I think this is probably going to be it. If Boston don't give him the vet minimum, I wouldn't be surprised if he'd be like, yeah, I'm about to go back to DR. I got this big-ass house there.
Word.
But yeah.
It's a beautiful mansion, by the way, too.
Huh?
It's a beautiful mansion that he has in DR.
Yeah, I know.
I saw it on Channel 41 one day, and I was like, holy cow.
Because it is way cheaper to build out there, and it's his. He don't got to pay no taxes on it or nothing. That's all him. But yeah, I wouldn't be mad if he was here, but I just don't see it happening. We got anything else?
Physical defense, fights for rebounds or tackles. That's why he doesn't get injured.
Listen, man. One thing I ain't gonna do. One thing I ain't fitting to do is take any Mikal Bridge slander here on this show for sure. What you mean play physical defense? Are you not watching the games?
Did you not watch the Boston series?
Are you not watching the games? Or you want him to tackle somebody? Like,
come on, boss. Don't do that.
Yo, so I will say this. The rebounding thing, I agree with you on that. That is factual. I think he could be a better rebounder. I have seen him die for loose balls, for sure. You know what I mean? I have seen him fight and die for loose balls. Rebounding could be way better, for sure. I agree on that part. And I think the reason why he don't get injured is because of the way he take care of himself. He says it like unlike everybody else, as soon as the game over, he's immediately in recovery. Immediately taking care of his body for the next game. You know what I mean? But yeah, we're not taking no Mikal Bridges slander. It's F them picks. You know what I mean? Don't trade Mikal on this side. Word. But physical defense, bro, I don't know how much more physical you want him to be. If you look at the numbers, the guys that he was guarding when he was the primary defender on them shot atrociously. That includes Cade Cunningham, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Tyrese Halliburton. If you look at the numbers, this is Googleable stuff. You don't got to even Believe me, you could Google it. Per possession, when Macau was guarding them, their numbers were atrocious. They were shooting low 30s from the field and sub 30 from 3-point range. All the people that I mentioned, when Macau was the primary defender, all playoffs. Just saying.
I don't see any of the other Knicks taking a discount.
I think Macau would.
I think Macau does.
I think Macau would. I think he likes being here. I think he likes playing with Josh and
I think the reason JB took the cut was knew this was coming.
And probably gonna look at him and be like, Nick, yo, where you going?
Right.
You know how much money I left on the table so you could be here? You better take this pay cut. You better take this pay cut. You know what I mean?
But one thing about Macau is he always wanted to be a Knick, right? Like he wanted to be a Knick. Let's not forget that. So when guys want to be somewhere, they do whatever needs to be done, right? Remember when he got traded to Brooklyn, he thought he was coming to the Garden.
Yeah, he said, yo, I love playing at MSG.
So, I mean, I don't think the Knicks make a move with all those picks without some type of, we know he's going to stay.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. I agree with that. You know what I mean? But if we ain't got nothing else, we can pack this up. Or, all right, nothing. Everybody good?
Yeah.
All right, boom. Shout out to everybody that pulled up tonight. You know the vibe. Share it as always, Karen. If you didn't do so already, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you're a first-time viewer. You know what I mean? And, you know, the link going across the bottom. You go get some merch. But also, it's right on the YouTube channel. You ain't even got to go to the link. You go right to the YouTube channel and click, buy some merch. You heard? And we'll see you next time, next Friday, 8 p.m., right? Yeah, Friday.
8 p.m.
Off season, every Friday, 8 p.m. Set a reminder. Turn your notification bell to all. You know what I mean? So you get the reminders. We doing the off-season talk. You heard. With that being, yeah. Hold on. Nigga,
tell a friend.
Nah, you good. Go ahead. Say what you were saying.
Oh, I was saying, tell a friend. Sharing is caring, and always like, follow, subscribe. And if you don't, and you know where to find us every Friday night.
Facts.
And I'm gonna need y'all to hit that outro.
Mic check 1, 2. Tell these rappers I'm outside, get them start acting up. Turning hoes to housewives and cleaning the ratchet up. Do it off from boom back to melody rap. If they can put you in the box, then you might as well pack it up. Bars having bars, no cap, I'm Attica, you a precinct. How y'all competing when y'all just decent? Your rhyme efficiency's like logic simplicity. Don't tell me how much that you black, cause I don't see it.